Hey everybody, and welcome back once again. This time I'm working on a little simplicity here. And as usual, it is cold out. It's actually colder now than the last time. It is like 10 degrees outside and the winds are howling. And I'm not dealing with that. So deal with the heater or buy me something better. Anyways, got this little simplicity here. It's what is this, a 560. Fun story, I actually sold this to the guy back like 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm gonna go inverted here. We were inverted. I put a new bunch of gears in the gearbox, tuned it up, and this thing was working phenomenal. He absolutely loves it, but one by one things started to fail. It's part of the issue of old machines, and he's understanding. The electric start for some reason is not working, and the ground wire actually pulled out of it, which those I have a pile of because I do a lot with mini bikes and I just pull them all off the motors I use. So that's a quick and easy fix. Probably just going to throw it in for the guy. The pull starter sometimes does not want to pull back in. That it's probably just going to be a pull out, rip it apart, clean it up, put it back together. A little bit of rust tends to build up inside those, not a big deal. It's also in for a tune-up, so it's going to get a new spark plug, oil change, the works. Check the belts, adjust everything. The biggest problem that he's having here, and he's a smaller guy, Chris, I'm not making fun of you, well, I do on a daily basis, but anyways, the biggest problem is, for him it kind of goes in circles, because he has to wrangle this thing around, because the tire keeps going flat. So, there's no visible damage to the tire. I tested it for leaks, we fill it up and it goes flat, so I'm guessing it's probably a rim leak. And for cases like this, where there's no punctures, I'm going to just pull the whole thing off, clean it, put a tube in it, and call it a day. That's the easiest way to guarantee we won't have any more leaks. And the biggest problem is, with this thing, it's just so darn big. I can't fit it up on my table. I don't have a decent sized lift, so I'm actually just going to pretty much tip it up on its side. Let's see if I can move this over. Against the shelf, nice and easy, and you can really see now somebody's already tried getting that pin out of there. I do not have high hopes that we will be able to get that tie off of there. As long as I can break this bead open, that's going to be the important thing. I think somebody put too big of tire chains on there. Could be worse. Now see if we can get these tire chains off here easy enough, or if they're going to fight me the whole darn way. Hopefully not. Whoever put them on did a halfway decent job. Oh wait, that was me, I think. Maybe, maybe not. It's been a while. Alright. Easy peasy. Once again, that tire is not in bad shape. You can see there's a lot of debris around the outside edges. What I'm willing to bet is, in the time that he had it, because it didn't have a problem going flat when I sold it, it must have sat in his garage for a season and pulled off the bead. It's a common occurrence. But I'm going to see if I can get this pin out of here. Pretty much I'm going to use the Sawzall, cut off the top, cut off the bottom, get out the torch, and let's grab the Freol and just start spraying it down, just preventative, because I know it's going to have to get sprayed down anyways. This stuff works pretty darn good. I'm happy with it. I don't know if anybody else uses it, but it works pretty good for me. Alright, I'm cheating. I'm going straight to the grinder. Oh, look at that. It has a good smell to it, that Freol, once it burns, I tell you. While we're at it, we'll just a little bit more on there. Alright. Hopefully this should be enough to kind of kickstart this thing's going away party, I guess is a fun way to put it. Might take a while with propane though. And when you're doing something like this, just make sure you got your safety spectacles on. You don't need something flying out, catching you right in the eye. Gotta be safe. Just try to be. Yeah, buddy. Let me guess, that wheel is still severely stuck, and she is. Oh, that looks even worse on the inside. Whew. Alright, well, let's see. Then we're gonna up to the map gas here, see what happens. See if we can get her to really come free here. Got her nice and hot. I'll get the pry bar behind it, see if we can get it to at least budge a little. Not even a bit. Oh, she is stuck. Whew. Those fumes are kind of a little harsh. Get the door opened up here. Went to leak for a second. Well, in an interesting turn of events, I got the tire turning on the rim. So, I think what we'll do is we'll just cool that down, put a new pin in it, slap the tube in there. I don't think we're going to be able to get this. I don't think we're going to be able to get that rim off there. Sometimes there it's just too far gone. Alright, what we're going to do next here, since we have the tire off the bead, it's all cooled down. I mean, it's still warm. Actually feels really good. But now that it's actually cooled down enough that it's not going to damage it, we are going to slap in a new inner tube. And I already went through, I reached in, felt around. There's no protrusions in this wheel at all. And with how easy it popped off the rim, I'm pretty sure there's actually quite a bit of rust and dirt and other stuff inside the bead. If we were to just reseal it with some bead sealant, it should, in theory, pop back on. But it's been a reoccurring issue, so the best course of action, just throw in a new tube. Got side cutters to pull off the old valve stem. These are to hold the new valve stem of the tube in to fill it. You got your fancy puller tool. We also got WD-40. And just because I'm a comical guy, this is going to be the replacement pin for in there, just to give the guy a little bit of hope the next time. Which is probably going to be me. I'm dumb. Alright, let's get underway here. It's going to be pretty simple. These are pretty straightforward. I've done this probably probably well over 100 times. Both the work and then on my personal stuff. It's just the easy way I put a tube in versus, reaching in there and hopefully getting it, and more than likely, pulling off the stem or something while you're freaking installing it because you pulled the tire off and you pinch the tube, or who knows what. I've seen it all. I've probably done it all. Kind of a goofball that way. Hold on to the inside piece so it doesn't fall off and fall in. There we go. Old valve stem removed. And even that hole is nice and clean there. So, everybody likes a clean hole. Anywho, got the old WD-40. Just kind of go around the bead. Actually get it in the tire. It'll just make it that much easier for the new tube to slide in, because this method is kind of gross, but once again, I've never had any trouble with it. I've done this on mini bikes, tractors, snowblowers, and more. Pull the new tube out of there. Sometimes you can get away without even going too crazy with it. And just line it all up where it's going to go. A little bit off. Just push it in. This one, yeah, we shouldn't even need that extra tool. Slide that up in the hole. Oh, geez. This came right off. And then just give her a little bit of a clamp so that it doesn't pop back in. And then take that tube and just start working it inside the tire. Kind of a pain. And it's gonna be slimy with the WD, but once you get it started, it just kind of pops on in. Just like that. They're popping it in between the rim and the tire. Wider wheels are a little bit easier. This is a 4.8 by 8, 4 by 8. So you really gotta squeeze your fingers in there. It hurts a little bit. I just sliding that tube up inside the tire. This way I don't pinch it. And also too, this is really nice in an instance like this where the rim is still stuck on the machine, as compared to fighting for the next 5 hours trying to get that off. And hypothetically, you could also try popping the other side, the bead, and remove the tire on the machine. I've done that too when I scrap stuff, but shake it around a little bit. I have no idea what the hell that was. And that's it. You can kind of reach in there and make sure it's up inside the tire. Yeah, wipe off my hands. We'll fill it up. Alrighty. Wipe off a little bit. This is a nice 70s Carlisle tire too. This would be really nice in the front of like my 916. I got tri ribs on it now, but my 916 Alice. These tires are really nice. Maybe I should see if he wants to upgrade to some decent snowblower tires. Probably not. Anyway, let's fill up this tire next. And I just have those on there holding that in place so that when you go to fill it, it's easier. She's going to be leaking out around that seal, the valve stem. She went in a hair crooked, but that'll be fine. Fill it up to 20 psi. Sometimes what I've done with some of these, I'll even like drill a hole in the tire, or I'll put a piece of grass or something in there just to let the air inside escape, because it's still filling and displacing all that air. But I think we're good. Let's get up to, what is this rated for? 20 psi? Not for highway service, Carlisle. Oh, it's on the other side. That's wonderful. I usually put my snowblowers up to 20. There we go. One nice, whoop, wrong way. One nice ready to go tire. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to see what's going on with the starter here. He says it doesn't work at all. But if you've seen his garage, you'll understand why I'm going to go through and just test the starter before I do anything too crazy with it. I mean, it sounds terrible, but... Oh, she's engaged. Oh, there she went. She disengaged. But you can still see the pull starter don't work worth a damn. I think we might be able to get away with just pulling off the electric starter and checking it out. He may have a bad outlet in his garage. But we'll pull the starter off, see how bad it is. I started digging through my parts pile. And this one here, the starter's good. But the switch is stuck in the on position. And these things do not come apart very easy. So if I have to bust it apart, I will. I'd prefer not to. But this is off of an Alice Chalmers I have outside. Kind of a shame because I was hoping the electric start would work on that one too. Technically it would work if you just plug it in and unplug it, but... And this one here is a little bit different of a plug box. But it's an HS50. Starter works. So if we can't fix the one that's on it, we're going to use this one. Because this bike, this one I got here for a mini bike. So if I don't use it for Snowblower, that's what I'm using it on. There's no choke thing on there. That's... I don't know. Alright. Let's pull it off there and take a look at what we got. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh. That did not sound happy. Crusty. Oh yeah, just as I thought. That's all goobered up. Kind of dirty. Spray some penetrating oil on there, get that cleaned up. Put a dab of oil on the bearing surface. I don't think we'll actually have to rip it all the way apart. I think it's just it was crunchy engaging. Where's my Freol? I sprayed in a little bit of penetrating oil and right away that thing freed up. So the spring is moving like it should. I put a little bit on the threads. And she really does. Well, I'll put it this way. She sprung back to life. Ah! See? It's humorous. Not really. Anyways. Just blow away any of the remaining fluid just so it's not a huge pool of it on there. So it doesn't get all sticky and grimy. Nice and free moving. That's what we want. I did put a little bit of oil up there. Should be fine. Now we'll put it back on there and then the pull starter. And then we'll put some gas in it and fire it up and get it ready for its oil change. Alrighty. Put the last couple bolts in on the starter here. Now what's kind of funny is I went around yesterday and picked up a few things and sold a couple things. I actually sold the CT70. I had lost all interest in that project. And I actually ended up buying a Stellar brand mini bike. It was a Jetstream. And it's kind of a goofy one. There's not a lot of information about Stellar bikes. I think it's still the same bolt I already had. Perfect, look at that. Almost like I planned it like this. Rest assured I did not. Nothing I do ever goes according to plan. Alright. Yeah, she's just dirty in there. If anything, we might actually pull this one apart and try cleaning it out real quick. Let's set up over at the table because this is just a lot of dirt and stuff inside. Alright, so pretty much we're just going to start taking this thing apart nice and slow like. What's happen is you'll get it to a certain point and that spring will just want to throw everything apart. We got springage underneath this, so let's be nice and easy on that. Fun part is I have not actually taken apart one of these in quite some time. I've always been kind of lazy and just gotten lucky with the fact I've always had enough of them. So we got one spring, we got a lot of rust in there. Golly. Sure that's not helping the case any. So they start pulling it out. I bet if we lubricate that, that'll be enough to get this thing to start working again. Well, the spring is obviously still working, but that thing is just gummed up. For y'all. Whoopsies. It's like night and day. That's sad. But good at the same time. It's an easy fix. Because I don't really want to take this apart if I don't have to. But look how much grime is in that. What we'll do is we'll flip it over a little bit. Clean some of that junk out of there. That's brake clean. Good cleaner. Then we'll take the compressed air over here. Ah, God, that made my ears ring. That was loud. Oh, golly. We're actually just take a dab of oil out of the oiler. That should be it. Alrighty. And just kind of pull that up just a little bit. A little dose of oil. It kind of work its way in. That's free moving. You don't want to just start spraying stuff in there willy-nilly. You want to pretty much just keep it on the control surface. My golly, I think we got it. Once again, that's going to be super dirty, but it'll be fine. Alright, now we'll throw this thing back together real quick. It'll be easy peasy. We got the screw, the friction plate. These are pretty simple. I don't even know why I thought, oh, maybe I'll just be lazy and swap it. I don't even need to. It's still nice and free moving. Alright. Once again, I love my Milwaukee power tools. Extracts, retracts. Extracts, retracts. Right up underneath there. Wrong way. Perfect. Oh man, noises. Alright. Now pull start. Perfect. Perfect. I guess, oh, that's lovely. Are we missing a screw on that? We are not. The top one is just all rusted out. Alright. I'm going to drill that out, put a washer with a self-tapper in there. Band-aid that along because I don't know if I have any more of those covers. Alright, I put some gas in. We got a self-tapper with a fender washer, so that's nice and secure again. The only thing she ain't got right now is a key, which any good small engine guy at least has one index key on his key ring. So let's prime her up and see how she fires up. Got a little bit of a hiccup at idle. Sure, he doesn't want to spend that extra money. So, yeah, we'll get this thing ready for an oil change. Alright. See what kind of color comes out here. Yep, dirty. Nice and dirty. Alright, while that's draining and promptly covering the whole side in rust preventative, it's about that spark plug. I'll probably burn myself too at the same time. Oh, got lucky. Not great. Not terrible. Well used. Doesn't really show us. There's a little bit of carbon on there. Maybe it's running a little rich, but not bad enough that's any cause for concern. Alright, got the brand new one here. It's a Champion J17LM, if it'll actually focus. There we go. Come on. There we go. J17LM. That's what my manual for the HS motors tells me to put in there, so. Making a little bit of a mess. Just gonna use a brake cleaner. Clean that up. Put that cap back in there. Top it back up. Some nice 5W30. Perfect. Like new. Let's see how well she fires up. Cold. Alright, and to adjust this, it's pretty simple. You just need a 1/2-inch ratchet. It's got a carriage bolt. You open that up, and that allows this to move and just kind of work it back into the teeth there. You want full mesh. There's a weird spot right about there, so I'll just have to persuade it a little bit. There we go. That was actually just me goofing off, but gotta add some pressure to it. Tighten it down. Oh, yeah. That was weird. Oh, that was a carriage bolt settling. Alright. Now, there's that one spot where it just hangs up a little bit, but she powers through, so. I lubricated the snot out of this thing. And she's loosening up the more you use it, so. Good enough. Yeah. I just gotta give it all little spurts of lubricants here and there, and good to go. Alright, so let's fire it up and just make sure that the auger works. I already adjusted the spout, rotation spout, there we go. And it's got new oil, spark plug, and the carburetor came out clean, so that's good to go. Electric starter's fixed, pull starter's fixed. Let's see it.